Good evening and welcome to tonight's PrayerCast. I have on my mind, as I imagine many of you do, the news about George Floyd, whose life was horrifically taken from him on Monday evening, a victim of police brutality, one more black victim. Also on my mind is Christian Cooper, who was just enjoying bird watching in Central Park when someone called the police about his presence. Fortunately, he is alive and well, but George Floyd's name must be added to a long list of others whose lives have been taken from them. And that made me think about our own denomination and what our commitment is when it comes to racial injustice. It has been 53 years ago that we added a confession to our book of confessions, and it is called the Confession of 67. And one issue which it names is racial injustice. The church labors for the abolition of all racial discrimination and ministers to those injured by it. Congregations, individuals, or groups of Christians who exclude, dominate, or patronize their fellow human beings, however subtly, resist the Spirit of God and bring contempt on the faith which they profess. And so for those of us who are white, it is not enough just to say we are not racist. We must stand up and speak. We must stand up and listen and listen. And listen to the sorrows of our siblings. And try to do something to make a difference. I bring a poem from The Cure for Sorrow by Jan Richardson, and it is called Blessing in a Time of Violence. Which is to say, this blessing is always. Which is to say, there is no place this blessing does not long to cry out in lament, to weep its words in sorrow, to scream its lines in sacred rage. Which is to say, there is no day this blessing ceases to whisper into the ear of the dying, the despairing, the terrified. Which is to say, there is no moment this blessing refuses to sing itself into the heart of the hated and the hateful, the victim and the victimizer, with every last ounce of hope it has. Which is to say, there is none that can stop it, none that can halt its course, none that will still its cadence, none that will delay its rising, none that can keep it from springing forth from the mouths of us who hope, from the hands of us who act, from the hearts of us who love, from the feet of us who will not cease our stubborn, aching, marching, until this blessing has spoken its final word, until this blessing has breathed its benediction in every place and every tongue. Peace, peace, peace. And so let us continue not only to pray for peace among all people, but let us continue to work for peace. May God's peace guard you this night.